Hi. Oh my gosh, I haven't been back. I'm excited to be here. It's been a few weeks. So, this happens to be our fifth episode of Journey to Authenticity. And I'm glad that you're able to join me today. I've changed my time because I'm hoping that it might allow for more participants to be able to be here during their lunch break or in the beginning of the week seems to be a little better. So let me just get started so I can honor your time. This is all about setting a healthy pace. And what happened was I got started in a project, and whether you saw my email this week or not, I basically got started with a project and started out of the gate kind of on fire. And while my energy was really high and I had this amazing amount of exuberance, it just things started to break down pretty quickly because I was not my authentic self and I had not set a very good pace. So, what happened, of course, is I crashed and burned and kind of then had to reassess. So, when I did that, I looked at in really inside myself and my values and what was important to me, and then took a very strong look at time management. So that's kind of what I want to talk to you today about is how we are bound by time. If you've ever had a situation, and we've all said this, we've run up to the deadlines and we're like, oh, I like working under pressure, and maybe we do. However, it's what happens if you don't meet that deadline. If what happens after the deadline, you're able to be successful and all of a sudden you're like sick because you've put yourself into a situation where you stressed your body physically, mentally, emotionally. None of this is really healthy, and because we're bound by time, we've not really learned the ability to step back from it and not be at the effect of it. So I want to give you a little bit of an understanding of two ways that we manage time. One is externally, and that's at the way that we look at the clock all day. That's the way that we manipulate our tasks around how much time is it going to take to get this done. That's when, like I said, even when you succeed at the end of the day, still at the effect of every single one of these tasks. So let's look at a better, healthier way to manage time from an internal perspective. These are 5 steps to actually being able to do that. So one is to stop clock watching. There's nothing healthy about really thinking about the day and how the day goes in terms of time. If you're doing those tasks that are filling your day up, that are more meaningful, the things that actually matter in your life, then you're less worried about the time that it's taking. Have you ever gotten in a situation where you're like, oh my God, I'm enjoying doing this, and the time just seems to skip away from me without any kind of, it's just like it creates that sense of awe where time and space don't exist. That's truly the best way to manage your time when you're creating those tasks around things that you enjoy doing, things that really matter. The things that don't really matter, we're spending our time on, we're wasting a lot of time on, and that's where a lot of our time goes away from us. So that's one, stop clock watching. Number two, time is not running out. This is the idea that, at the end of the day, we're like, oh my God, I didn't get anything done, or um, we're just kind of ruminating in our past and we're worried so much about the future instead of really being able to find a way to just be as present as possible. All we have is right here and right now. So the sooner we can shift our mindset away from the fact that time is running out, which it isn't, and be aware of the fact that you're right here, right now. I've oftentimes referred to this in the example of sitting in a traffic jam. If you're in a traffic jam and you're stressed about where you're supposed to be, oh my gosh, and the anxiety level gets high and you're sitting in the car and you can't get out of the traffic jam, you're in a traffic jam. There's nothing you can do about it. All you can do is refocus your attention on where you are right here and right now, and you're at the effect of it if you're going to be upset about it or worried about where you're not. Just be acknowledging of the fact that this is where you are and there's a reason why you're here. What can you do that might be more productive? And instead of feeling like you're at the behest of not being where you're supposed to be because you're in this traffic jam. So time is not really running out. It's just we lose the ability to be more present-minded. Hi, Rennie, love you. Number three, time is affected by our mood. This is a big one because when we think in terms of time goes by when we're having fun, right? Or whenever things are really difficult for us, we feel like time drags. This is our psychological perspective being wrapped around the sense of time. And of course, the more self aware we can also then become more meaningful or have more meaningful experiences, which are a little bit more around that same idea as I mentioned before, having more mindful tasks and doing things that actually matter. This all ties back to our values. So yes, create more meaningful experiences for yourself and you won't necessarily be affected. Your physiological mood will not affect time. Number four, arrange your schedule. Well, this is a no-brainer, right? But we get to this cycle of work and then we come home and we distract ourselves with, the Kardashian nonsense or whatever it is to distract us from our opportunities to really become more self-aware or take mindful moments or be able to create the downtime that we really need for ourselves mentally, emotionally, physically. So being able to become more self-aware is a whole host of opportunities to lessen that cycle of work distraction, work distraction, work distraction, which isn't really very viable for us in the long run. And five, create calm and stable. What does this look like? Especially when we're so stressed out, right? This is when we need it the most. This is when we really need to be able to stop, reflect, quiet that mind, and just let that stillness set in. We're not able to do it when we're at work, and we're not able to do it when we're distracted by the TV and Kim Kardashian and Kanye and all the other nonsense. So really, truly being able to create those moments of silence and meditation and be able to allow your brain to just kind of create this gentle hum of silence so that it can regenerate and it can reprocess and restore. This is the most incredibly beneficial thing that we can do for our minds from a time management perspective. And I know you're probably like, how do you just sit and do nothing? And that's really all about building more time. I guarantee you, if you create more stillness in your mind, your perspective around time flying by will change. It goes back to your values. It goes back to being able to put into your life the things that are important to you, get rid of the nonsense that is not, be able to set yourself up for a much healthier mindset around the day's events and those tasks. You will find yourself being so much more productive, I promise. So just wanted to mention to you that I am creating a class. It is called the Mastery of Values. I am so excited to be able to roll this out. Look for our more information probably coming out in the next week. So if you don't see anything, then you can email me at Karen@nextleveldirection.com. In the meantime, thank you so much for being here. And I look forward to seeing you again next week at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And all right, good. Thank you so much. Bye.